The chair lays out HB 2079 and recognizes Chairman Hunter to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the music TWIA bill. So he's not paying any attention at all, members.
No, I'm ignoring the TWIA comment.
2079 is a bill that we've developed over the last 2 to 3 years. Let me tell you just very simply what it is. We're working with the Texas Historical Commission to recognize travel tourism in the music industry. I know that Representative Martinez has worked with me before, Freddie Fender from South Texas, Selena from South Texas, and I'm sure many of are all over the place. Johnny Rodriguez from Brackettville. And so we had a great music history in South Texas. So we're working with the Historical Commission to set up some designations so that we can highlight musical artists, musical heritage throughout the state of Texas. And we worked with them, and it's incorporated. There's not a big fiscal impact, but what we're trying to do is highlight Texas's rich music heritage and do it through the Texas Historical Commission. And if it goes for greater things and greater good, fine, but I think it's a real good way to bring folks in travel and tourism. I know San Antonio has a huge impact, West Texas. We can just go through the whole area, North Texas, the coast. That's really simply what this is, and it promotes kind of a new travel tourism. And I have some witnesses, Mr. Chairman, and so I'm going to announce to my witnesses, which Chairman Bonnet and I both agree. If they go beyond 3 minutes, I want you to call me back to the podium.
Now, is that collectively or individually?
It doesn't matter to me. But if we have some witnesses, we have some folks to come in here, and I appreciate the support. And I'm sure there's nobody against it, or unless they don't like music. But
well,
if we,
me.
oh, there you. That's exactly right, Chairman. But we do have some witnesses. But I would ask on the microphone while they're here to please keep it to 3 minutes or less to your committee. And if you have any questions, great. If not, I'll come back when you're ready to close.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Are there any questions for Chairman Hunter? All right, well, I'll call up your first witness, Stephen Williams. Stephen, we show that you are registered with the Museum of American Music History, and you are for the bill. If you could give us your name, who you represent, and your position on the bill.
My name is Steve Williams. I'm with the Museum of American Music History out of Houston, Texas, and we're for the bill. We're a little bit more than for the bill. We helped develop the bill with the Historical Commission and TxDOT and the Federal Highway Administration. Developing a music heritage tourism program for the state and a hub and spoke network. I have just a couple of things here. It explains how the bill was developed. And who the bill was developed for. There's a network already established all over Texas of music families, music archives, music museums, and what we're trying to do is network that to a music heritage tourism program for the state. It adds to the Heritage Trail program and encourages more tourism. There's also some federal dollars available, but Representative Hunter and I are going to discuss that. Thank you. I'm for the bill.
Members, are there any questions for Mr. Williams? All right, thank you, Mr. Williams, for your testimony. Next, we'd like to call up Jim O'Cherry, and we show you as being with the Texas Music Library and Resource Center, and you're for the bill.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and folks. My name is Jim O'Cherry. I'm with Texas Music Library and Research Center out of Houston, and we are for the bill. We too have worked many hours with the Texas Historical Commission to develop a program like this that helps all Texas. So, recognizing Representative Hunter's, I'm for the bill. I'm done. Any questions?
All right, are there any questions? No, thank you for your testimony. Next, we'd like to call up Brendan Anthony with the Texas Music Office. It's good to see you again.
Yes, sir. How are you? Thank you, Chairman. Chairman Hunter, how are you? The Texas Music Office recognizes, of course, the significant contribution that cultural tourism provides our state. Excuse me?
Who you are?
Oh, I apologize. Brendan Anthony, Director of the Texas Music Office in the Office of the Governor. I apologize. Just jumped right in.
And your position on the bill?
We're neutral.
Neutral.
Serve as resource witness.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was saying that the Texas Music Office recognizes the significant contribution that cultural tourism provides to the state of Texas. And the Texas Music Office brings knowledge and partnerships to the table, of course. We have at our office identified more than 350 sites of interest around the state, and these include musical events, music museums, historical markers, historical venues, statues, grave sites, and more. The Texas Dance Hall Preservation Organization and groups like Texas State Historical Association have compiled the Handbook of Texas Music, both in print and online, providing scholarly research on hundreds of potential trail sites, and have identified both active and inactive historic venues around the state. We also have websites and streaming music services that can provide an interactive way for people to see these sites in a brand new way. The key word to us is collaboration, and we try to work with these various groups who bring these other resources to the table.
Well, thank you, members. Are there any questions? Representative Cross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Anthony, for being here. We've discussed Texas State Music Museum in the past. Do you see that this would conflict or work against the interest either one way or the other if you had the Texas State Museum and this as well? Do you need both, or do they complement each other?
I think you're right. I think they do complement each other. I think key word here is collaboration, absolutely. I think groups that can identify significant contributions from these folks in their own right around the state would only help to amplify what that facility might want to do.
Members, are there any other questions? Right, well, good to see you, and thank you for your testimony.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Deborah Fleming is next. We show you representing yourself as well as the Texas Dance Hall. What's the rest of that?
Dance Hall Preservation.
Preservation, and we show you as being for the bill.
Yes, I am.
If you'll give us your name, who you represent, and your position.
Right. My name's Deborah Fleming. I represent Texas Dance Hall Preservation as the board president and as an individual citizen. I'm a fifth-generation Texan.
And you're for the bill?
I'm for the bill.
Okay.
I'm a fifth-generation German-Polish Texan, and I found out about my ancestry in a dance hall at Panna Maria about 12 years ago. Grew up in San Antonio, and I've spent thousands of hours and miles traveling the state over the last 12 years looking for dance halls. And I think the dance halls are the birthplace of Texas music. It's where our ancestors came from Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia. They brought their culture, their tradition, their musical instruments, and they brought all that to Texas, and the dance halls were the center point of those community centers, and that's where music started here, and it melted together with other cultures and other ethnic groups into what we know as Texas music today. And you don't really hear about Connecticut music or New Jersey music, but you hear about Texas music all over the world, and we're pretty well known for that. And just a few weeks ago, we did a week-long tour with Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel, and we hit about 15 dance halls across the state. We had people from all over the state. We had people from all over the country. And the comments I heard from Texans said it made them very proud to know that people from other parts of the country came here for the Texas music, because it was all about music and history. And it made them sort of realize that they're not really appreciative of that like they really should be, because when other people come here for that purpose, for music, and they travel around, they see our dance halls and they see our history and our culture, they really do appreciate and love it. So that was really sort of an eye-opening experience. I think that the bill would definitely sort of raise awareness. The dance halls are the dots that connect all those other things, the museums, the archives, the statues, the burial places across the state. At one time, we had 1,000 dance halls. We've got less than 400 today, but we still recognize and honor those places that are long past. Thank you very much.
Members, are there any questions? All right, thank you for your testimony. I'd also like to have the records reflect that Representative Fallon and Representative Faircloth are in attendance. And we'd like to call up Heidi Hovda, if I get that close.
You got it right.
Okay, we show you representing both yourself and the Corpus Christi Convention Bureau, Visitors Bureau.
Yes,
and we
sir.
show you as for the bill and probably a saint dealing with some of the folks from Corpus.
Oh, I love my city and I love everybody in it, and especially this man
we
right
love
here.
Todd. Let me go on the record as saying we love Todd Hunter.
I think everybody does. Yes, my name is Heidi Havda, and I am lucky enough to get to work for the Corpus Christi Convention and Visitors Bureau, and I am definitely for this bill, both personally and as part of my organization. I have the great honor to get to put on every year the festival called Fiesta de la Flor, which honors the life and legacy of the Queen of Cumbia, Selena Quintanilla. I could tell you all the great stories and all the fantastic ways that people come in and have fun, but I think that you guys would probably like to hear some economic impact. So this past year, the festival this year was March 24th and 25th. We had over 55,000 people attend. It created a $15 million economic impact. Over 61% of the attendees came from out of town. 42 states from across the United States, and we also had several countries attend, including Argentina, Canada, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, Peru, and many more. All of these visitors mean that in our hotels for that weekend, 83.9% of our hotels were occupied. That's economic impact. That's what this festival does for our community. That is what taking the time to honor and celebrate a musical legend can do for our city. It fills our hotels, it keeps our restaurants full, and it also tells a great story about our city. There's another little side part of this that I just want to share with you too. In addition to being in Corpus Christi, in addition to us doing this festival, we also have the Selena Museum, which the Quintanilla family has kept open for all of Selena's fans. And I just want to give you a snapshot of 2 weeks just this year. On spring break, from March 13th through March 18th, there were 6,414 people that came to visit the Selena Museum. Also, the week of Fiesta de la Flor, from March 20th to March 26th, again, just 2 weeks, there was 3,691 people who came through the museum. That's a total of 10,000 people in 2 weeks. And they came from places like Chicago, Michigan, California, New York, New Mexico, Kansas, Wisconsin, France, Puerto Rico, and Germany. This has a real live economic impact, and it definitely positively affects our city, positively tells the story of our region. And I feel that this bill, combined with all the other great areas in Texas, will really help assist promoting not just Corpus Christi, but all the state of Texas as a fantastic music region for tourism. And just one thing to wrap up anecdotally, the other day I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, and there was a friend of mine who showed a picture of him being in Looking Back, Texas. And he said, I finally made it, guys. I finally got to see Looking Back, Texas with Waylon and Willie and the boys. So it means something to people, and that's my testimony. Thank you.
All righty, members, any questions? Thank you for your testimony. We have several witnesses that have registered but do not wish to testify, so we'd like to call up Chairman Hunter to close and also praise you on your witness management, and wondering if you could stay around for a couple of these other bills we have coming up.
You know, Brendan Anthony may have been on the bill, but he was a fiddle player for Pat Green. So we plot him there. Members and Chairman, thank you so much for doing that. I think it's a great positive. It publicizes Texas. It's positive. And one good thing about the state of Texas is music has been a foundation here in all areas of the state. So I close.
Thank you, and I think you have a great bill here, and at this time we'll leave HB 2079 pending.